Hello, it's me again. I have a lot to say today, ladies. Okay, so this installment is about letting a man be a man. Um, I find myself a lot of times talking to my different friends from everywhere. As y'all may know, I'm a military brat. I was in the military. My husband's in the military now. My mother and father both were in the army. And so I have friends of every nationality, every height, every color, every weight, everything. And I find that I question why a lot of times why it is that a lot of celebrity men will go and find white women or other women, but besides black women. And although I don't really have a problem with it because I really don't care who you date as long as that person makes you happy, I do wonder why it happens that way. And if you watch and you watch enough television or you read enough articles or whatever, a lot of the guys will say because black women are too hard to deal with. We have too much mouth. We won't let them be men. We talk too smart, or whatever it is. And just with talking to my friends, black, white, and everything in between, I find that women are women. It doesn't matter. We might have different strength levels, but pretty much a woman is a woman. Strength levels or things that we're willing to deal with or different abilities or whatever, but at the end of the day we're just women, just like men are men. But I do find that a lot of times women, and I'm not going to say black women, I'm not going to say Hispanic women or Asian women or white women, whoever, but some women have the tendency to take a man's manhood from him. And when you do that, that's the best way to assure that relationship ending and probably ending badly. It's like, well, I'm not going to let him talk to me any kind of way. I'm not going to take his mess. I'm not going to allow him to cheat on me or abuse me or whatever. And you shouldn't. You should never let a man abuse you mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, or whatever. But your ability to go get a job where you're making as much money as he's making, or your ability to pay bills the way he's paying them, or your ability to go buy material things and that he would normally buy, it does not make him less of a man. Sometimes it just will play itself out where you may be making more money than the man that you're involved with, but that doesn't make him less than a man. It just makes you. It means that you're in a position where you just make more money. As women, we have to be strong enough to let a man be a man. You have to know when to say, okay, well, you know what? This time, I'm not going to necessarily say what I'm thinking because what I'm thinking may just be ugly. And it may be ugly just for the sake of being ugly. If you're not going to say something productive, then why bother saying it? And waiting until you get in public or around his friends, around your friends, around whoever, and then talking to him in a disrespectful manner is unacceptable because do you want him to do that to you? My thing is, I don't disrespect my husband in front of people because I don't want them to then feel like, well, she doesn't respect him and she doesn't even respect him enough to not disrespect him in front of us, so now we can play with them. Because now if you play with my husband, we have a problem. I can play with them, but you can't. If you play with my husband, we have a serious problem. But if I play with him in front of you, then what I've done is I've made you feel comfortable. Like, well, I mean, maybe that's how they get down. That's how they do what they do. So it's all right for the rest of us. It's just like the N word. If we say it around enough people that aren't black, anything but black, I mean white, Asian, Hispanic, whatever, if we say enough around them, when they start saying it, they will be pissed off. But it's like you opened the door for that. So to me, and this is just my opinion, to me, it's the same thing. If I disrespect my husband in front of people, then I've opened the door for them to disrespect him the way they've seen me do it, and vice versa. Now, by no means am I saying be a weak woman and run behind him like a little puppy, or sit at his feet and let him pitch on top of your head. I'm not saying that, but I am saying let a man be a man. Don't take that from him. You know what I mean? Sometimes it has to be hard. Or I can imagine that for a man who's supposed to be the head of the household, he's supposed to take care of his family, and he's supposed to make ends meet, and he's supposed to bring home the bacon, and all those little, sayings that we all grew up with. I can imagine it must be hard to make less than your counterpart. But I think it would be harder if it was constantly being thrown in his face. And I don't see the need for it. I really don't see the need for it. If you treat a man like a man, chances are he is going to treat you like a woman. If you get a man who is a man and who is respectful and who does want to be the head of the household and who does want to be the person that makes it all better, if you allow him that, if you give him that, and it won't take anything from you, that does not make you weak. It does not make you it doesn't make you passive or all those crazy things that you'll hear people say. It doesn't take anything from you to allow him to be a man, but it gives him so much. And in building that man, it builds the family. If a man is able to be a man, if you give him that, if you give him the right and the courage to be a man and step out on being a man, then you will see amazing things happen within your family. It says that a woman is supposed to follow her husband. He's supposed to be the head of the household, and he's supposed to follow God. I don't have any problem following a man that is following God, because in that, he is not going to treat me like I'm less than. He is not going to beat me or talk bad to me or put me down. If he follows God, then he is going to hold me up high, and he is going to take care of me and honor and cherish me. But the only way I can get him to do that is if I build him up. Women are, we have the strength to sometimes be weak, if that makes sense. I don't want it to come across as me saying, oh, well, whatever your husband tells you to do it. If he tells you to jump, ask him how high. You're supposed to bow down. I am not saying that, because any of you all who know me or follow any of my posts, I never say if the women should be weak. As a matter of fact, I have a whole post on stupid women. I hate a stupid woman. But you've got to know when to take the background for a second. It is okay to take the background for a second. There's a book called Teach Me How to Love You by Juanita Bynum. Amazing. It comes with a CD, and there's one part where she says that, I want to say it was raining, or he stepped in water, or something along the lines where he may have gotten dirty some kind of way. And he had a beautiful, beautiful suit, and she had on a silk scarf. She took her scarf off and wiped that man off. And she said that it did not. She did it without question. It didn't take a moment for her to think to do that. In that, she built that man up, and there's nothing more beautiful than a strong man. So, ladies, understand that it's okay to sometimes let the man be a man. If you let him be a man, then he will be. So don't bitch and moan and cry to your friends about how he's not being a man and he's being a punk and he's this and he's that, without taking a good look at yourself. Are you the cause of him being a punk or weak or whatever? Are you taking his manhood away? As a woman, no one is closer to that man than you are. So you build him up or tear him down. It is totally up to you. Now, if you have a man who just don't want to be anything, this is not for you. I am talking about women out there who have a man who just needs that little push, it's okay, baby, you got it. Baby, I got you. Don't you worry about it. I know that you can handle it. Sometimes, let a man open the pickles for you. You know you can do it yourself. But let him do it. It's okay to sometimes say, baby, I need you to do this for me. It's all right. So that was my 10 minutes. I hope I was able to help somebody. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.